Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone around the world. Another week of YouTube Creator News. My name is Doug, in case you don't already know, and I'm your host for the next hour of the show. I hope everyone had a great week. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. We're going to jump into the chat just a sec. Shout out all the on-timers, all the early birds, everyone rolling into the chat today. But as always, this show is all about telling you about the week that was in YouTube news, particularly creator-related topics. And we'll also open the floor for the entire show for your questions, your YouTube-related questions, your creator-related questions. So if you do, drop that in the chat with a Q in front of it, so I know it's a question for me to talk about on the show. And yeah, could get a little spicy later. We'll see how spicy we get today. And all good. Let's jump in to the chat. And if I hit the right buttons, first we have Frankie YT coming in early, thinking that she was late, but she was actually early because, of course, daylight savings changes in the United States means that I start an hour later here in Australia. As Edfield Road, Latin Lovely is here saying hi to everyone in the chat. We're operating with handles today, so we'll bear. Kevin Hawthorne is here, as always, from Lakeland, Florida. Good morning. Now I've got to click them manually. Chantel Hills is here, saying hi to everyone coming in. Chatty Cathy is here, rocking another channel membership there, I see. Beanie Draws is in the house. Good morning, good evening. That's it. It's still, because technically, like when this show starts, it's evening. But you know, in about an hour and a half, it will be morning. Amazing Yacht Destinations is here as well. Welcome. Eileen Smith is here, dropping the hello to everybody in the chat. Benny says, have you moved the time a bit? Yeah, it's an hour later than I was last week because of the time change. So right on time, like 7:30 a.m. Eastern for everyone in the US. So like, if you didn't change times last weekend, then I've probably changed my time slot for you. But if you're in the US, it should be business as usual. All right. Yes, the queue does help me see your question. Neil Faramond is here. Good morning. Good evening. It's probably afternoon. I'll get it right one day. Breaking news. Chantel will be time shifting her stream as well. That's interesting. Thailand doesn't change time. They're a bit like here in Brisbane. They don't change time, so they have to start an hour later than they normally do as well. And because Nick likes to go his 9 a.m. Eastern time slot, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later as we rock in. Monique is here as well. PC wants me to change headphones. Monique's here. Monique dropped a comment earlier, but it was before I turned on my Social Stream Ninja, so I didn't pick it up. So we're here. We're doing it. Home rapid repair, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, business as usual. Even had a coffee and bacon ready already. Nice. Now, because of the time change, I had my coffee before my stream instead of after my stream. So, yes. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to confirm the background music was playing. It was playing, but it was on 0. So, it's like being turned off. I'm just going to drop it in the background there somewhere, so hopefully that's good. Lovely. So more people are probably going to be sort of rolling in as we get going. So today we've got, a selection. I don't think it's quite as busy news-wise this week. It was like a quiet week in terms of the social medias, but they did list a lot of things on Creator Insider this week. So, a bit of a mixed bag. Some of the stuff we've talked about before, which we tend to run across when we sort of recap what our Creator Insider's up to. So we'll jump to that in a minute. And just as I mentioned, just for the latecomers, if you have a question, for me at any time during the show, you can just put a Q in front of it in the chat and I'll see it. And yeah, some of the things I want to talk about will be sort of shooting off some of the news topics today as well. And then the main topic we'll do at the end after the news, because this is just, it's more of a, we'll call it a mild rant. We'll call it a mild rant, so you can look forward to that. All right. What we might do first, we might just get started on the old creator news.
Stay tuned for creator news.
All right. That's my cue to change the screen over, and everything is up, everything's working, everything's good. This is my little like text recap as we do each week. We just like to start off with what Creator Insider is talking about and then branch out from there. So this week, this is what we were talking about on Creator Insider. You can see there's quite a list at the top there. Some of these ones we're going to go into more detail. Some of these ones we'll mention it here and talk no more of it for the rest of the show, unless of course somebody asks a question. Now they say launch dual streaming. We'll talk more about that. That's the horizontal and vertical live streaming in the live stream dashboard. There's a little bit more information about it in the Creator Insider video. It's still rolling out, so we'll talk about that. There's a new metric in analytics, looking at paid versus organic metrics. So you can break out real easily any traffic that is, and metrics based on your paid promotions versus your organic views. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. They did a little quick myth busting following on from that. Will advertising hurt my channel's organic performance? And the short answer was no. They'll say launching, which I was surprised. I actually thought this had come out ages ago. They've added images to quiz posts on iOS. It's been on Android for a long time. It's been on desktop for a long time. I just assumed that it was already on iOS as well. So I evidently haven't been posting quiz posts from my phone, because I've been doing it on the desktop, and adding images is perfectly fine on desktop. So that's something that I thought was already out, but apparently it's just been rolled out. They've expanded a special sort of YouTube help chat thing, and I don't have any more information on it, so we probably won't be talking too much more about that one today. Something we talked about last week, the whole upscaling super resolution on videos, upcoding or transcoding up the resolution on the lower quality ones like 720p and whatnot up to 1080p. So we talked about that last week, but that was mentioned on this week's show. And finally, they also mentioned that they're rolling out gifts and jewels in Taiwan as a market. So that is to be looked forward to. So for us to move on, what we're going to do is have a look at my quick recap that I posted in socials this week. The quick breakdown. We'll go through that real quick. It's about 4 different posts, sort of stitched together as you do on X when you don't have premium. Beanie says rants. Oh boy, hang on, that didn't put in that select. There it is. Until's looking for loving a good Doug rant. We'll see. I can't promise anything. Depends how worked up I get. Larry says, I'm going to ask Studio when YouTube will allow mobile tagging. Yes, please. There's another thing I asked for, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, that I wish YouTube would do, that I've submitted as an idea many a time, and nobody has implemented so far. So we'll see. Anyway, let's look at the recap. This is my recap. So the key items from the recap, these are in slightly different order than what we had them just now, but the key items for Creator Insider's recap this week, or this week on YouTube, sometimes they call it Newsflash. The new filter in analytics to separate paid versus organic metrics, which we talked about, which I mentioned earlier. We have a little bit more about that coming up. Of course, you can now stream both horizontal and vertical formats at the same time in the live control room, but can you? Can you really? We'll talk about that in a second. New AI features are rolling out. Edit with AI in the YouTube Create app. This is interesting. I found this interesting, and I have questions. I don't have the answers for the questions, but I have questions. And of course, the super resolution, which we talked about last week, upscaling those older qualities up to 1080p. I don't know how you get 240p up to 1080p, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. Also in the update, iOS creators add images to quiz posts, gifts, and jewels in Taiwan. You can now donate to fundraisers from your TV. So new quality of life improvement if you do a bit of watching on TV. If there's a donation fundraiser, then there's an ability to do that. I guess they're using QR codes because that's what they seem to be doing for some of that stuff. And it says, I think I got these out of order. Why am I talking about upscale? Oh yes, because that's related to super resolution. So this, I put these on the screen out of order. That's why it confused me. Not only are they upscaling video, they're also upscaling that at some point very soon, giving us the ability to upload higher resolution thumbnails. So you don't have that old 2 megabyte limit, and their recommended was like 720p style thumbnails. You can get away with some 1080p's if you can keep it under 2 megabytes, but they're going to increase the file size to 50 megabytes, so you should be able to upload like a very high quality thumbnail. They're still going to be the same dimensions in terms of 16 by 9, but that's something good. We talked about that last week, I'm sure. The AI enhanced YouTube help chat is also expanding to more creators for instant support. Now, I wish I had more information on that one, which I don't, unfortunately. But I think I've got an idea, and we possibly might be able to do somewhat of a demo, because I think I've got this new AI enhanced YouTube help chat. So we're going to look into that in just a second. The first thing we're talking about is the dual streaming. Our friend Peggy gives us a breakdown, and then I've got a little bit more information as well. You can start a new stream in the YouTube Studio Live Control Room. You can then toggle to enable a dual stream, and then it will give you an option to how you would like to crop that. I think at the moment it only gives you one option, but they're going to be rolling out more options for cropping. So it's going to be just giving it your horizontal stream, and it's going to do some cropping. But there's going to be other formats releasing down the track. The default one is a center crop on your landscape, but obviously I have seen one live stream who had this early feature, and all they did was had it cropped in at the top, so it was like a normal horizontal video in the top, and it was blank underneath, but the chat would roll in the blank part anyway, because that's what happens on the vertical streams. So it sort of worked well for that format and for that type of content that I saw it on. So yeah, there's going to be new crop templates and a third-party encoder compatibility that's going to come down the track. So right now, it's limited to just taking the 1080p or the whatever format stream, the horizontal stream, and then cropping it. But they're going to have the options to send a vertical encode very soon. Apparently, that's what's happening. A little bit more information on that. vidIQ dropped a little bit more on this. There's some images on there as well, which are a little bit small. But I want to point out the image on the right hand side there in the middle. You know what? I'm going to try and blow it up for you. I just have to make sure I unlock it here in Ecamm. Oh no, I can't. Not the way I didn't put them together in Ecamm. I put them together in Keynote. Yeah, I should have made it bigger. But basically, in the stream settings toggle, like if you looked at my stream now, this is something we're going to do. We're going to jump over to the screen share. There we go. So this is my live stream dashboard now. So this is where it should be. Here in the stream settings, right at the top, there should be that little option, a little toggle saying dual stream, and you should toggle that on and then make your selection on how you want it cropped, and then you're good to go. But I don't have it yet, so I can't actually show you what it looks like. I've been checking all week to make sure to see if I'd have it, but no, I don't have it. I don't have it. Go back to that one there. So I don't think VidIQ gave anything else, anything more than what Peggy told us before. So I'm not going to repeat that. So it's basically like going in, setting it up, doing the toggle, making sure your crop's correct for where you want it. Make sure you're in the crop zone, I guess, and then you can then go live from there. So that's the starting point. More enhancements coming to that to give you all the encoder options, to give you different type of crops and all that. Let's jump into the chat because people are also coming in as well. Create a classroom, popping in to say hi, but it's sad to say I can't stay. I'm just experiencing some massive fatigue today. Oh, tell me about it. And have to do something later today, so I need to take it easy. Yeah, I was up earlier than usual this morning because I had dad taxi duties this morning at an earlier hour than I normally get up on a Saturday. So I'm feeling it today. SMA Sky is here as well. Welcome. You don't have dual stream yet either. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't have dual stream option either. It takes time to roll out, I guess. It seems to be, they make it sound, oh yeah, we're rolling it out. You should have it. Yeah. And no, don't have it yet. But as we know, with a rollout, so it could take like a week or two for everybody to get it, maybe longer. Some stuff rolls out fairly quickly. And then sometimes they roll it out like in the background and people start getting it. And then they announce it. Sometimes they announce it and then start rolling it out. In this case, I think it's the latter. So, what can you say? YouTube, always keep you guessing. I think that's the word I want to use. All right. Let's talk about organic and paid traffic. vidIQ were the most prolific posters this week, so that's why we've got a lot of vidIQ posts. A brand new organic and paid traffic filter just released in YouTube Studio. Now you can see metrics like views, comments, and average view duration by organic versus paid traffic. Now, I did think about doing a demo on this, but I shouldn't have it. I don't have any paid traffic, so I don't think that would make sense to see paid or organic traffic. Or maybe I would be shocked if I found that out. Interesting. YouTube also publicly stated that paid traffic does not cap your organic traffic on an individual level. They are counted and treated separately. That was their myth busting. However, YouTube did not address the long-term effects of paid traffic, which we know that as soon as you stop paying for traffic, then the overall impressions are going to drop. And if you're not getting that organic traffic already and sustaining that, then it's just more of a psychological disappointment that you're not really as far along as you think you are after doing all that paid promotion. So the filter should be, let's see if I can find it first of all, because that's important. I actually need another tab because I need to not mess up any of my tabs. Let's go see if I can find it. I have honestly not looked for this new feature, which is shocking. I know I should have checked. But okay, so I expect this can be in analytics in one of the main tabs. So if we're talking traffic, organic and paid traffic, the stuff we're going to be looking at is probably like audience. Let's have a look. I don't even know what tab it's supposed to be on. There's a filter. Where would you see a filter like that unless it was in advanced mode? Just revenue. It's not going to be on revenue. Look me on trends. No, trends aren't. Because the only filter on the regular analytics before you go into advanced mode is like the time frame, last 28 days by default. Okay, it might be in advanced mode. Yeah, in advanced mode. Where are they putting this? Oh, maybe it's not. Filter. Here we go. I think I figured it out. Okay, so if you're in advanced mode, I'm just going to drop that one. Down here where my cursor is, so you've got all your options there. It's probably under this, should be a filter for organic and paid traffic. So it's in the filter section of advanced. And so you can go paid, organic. Okay, no point me clicking on it. Well, let's have a look. Am I going to see any paid traffic? No, it says all 0. I don't have any paid traffic. So there you go. But yeah, that's where it is, in the filter section in advanced mode. So just as I surmised, that's where it is. Let's get back to that screen. All right. I need to I've lost my cursor. Here it is. Back to there. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, here's one that we've sort of had an announcement on before, but it's actually a different feature with a similar or same name. And this I was confused, so I'm sure this is confusing people. I'm sure like a month back we talked about something called Edit with AI in the Shorts tool, and it was really basic. I did a demo. It was pretty, basic. But this is a different feature, but it's got the same name. And this is primarily in the YouTube Create app, which is mainly, well, it's definitely on Android in a lot of places. It's only on iOS in Canada right now. When we're wondering whether, as of last week, with the announcement of the Premiere app having an integration with Shorts, whether they were even going to release the Create app on iOS, and we still don't have an answer for that. And we are asking that question. I have asked that question a couple of times already. But here, that you can actually, in the Create app, upload several pieces of content, and it will basically put it together, use AI to put it together into some sort of coherent story as like a starting point for your edit. So it'll like lay it out as a starting point for your edit, and then you can go in and change it and adjust it, add voiceovers, add music, and do all that in the Create app, because the Create app is an editing app. They've added like a type of that to the actual Shorts tool in YouTube Studio as well, but it's not as feature rich as the version on the YouTube Create app. So if you were to check it out on the Create app, now because it's not on iOS yet, I can't even demo this in terms of the Create app, but there is they did do some basic updating in the YouTube app in the Shorts tools. You would have to have some content in your camera roll, of course, if you were doing a vertical video, of course, because it is a tool to create a type of short. And what's that a tinkle in the background? Oh, I think somebody subscribed. There was a subscribe thing pop up. Is that? Not sure what that is. I just heard that slight music and saw the subscribe thing come up, and I can't remember what that's for. I just assume someone's just subscribed on my channel. So whoever you are, if you're watching, welcome to the channel. So this Edit with AI app. Now I can show you quickly sort of what it does on the Shorts tool, but it's not fully featured. I like what it does on the Create app a lot better. It then kicks you into the Create app, so you can use all the tools of the Create app once it has sort of started like a basic sort of template short with a selection of clips that you selected, and it choosing sections of clips that it thinks would work together. And then of course you can change it up as much as you like in the Create app. But here on Shorts it's a little bit more limited. So we're gonna go to the iPhone screen for this one, and then after this we'll jump back into the comments. So if we go to the Shorts tool, giving access, Shorts. Okay, so we're in some of these options here. There's me live, but I believe I would need specifically a video. I've got videos on here. Oh, it's got to be under 60 seconds if I recall. So some of these are just shorts that I've either made or partially made. Let's go pick this one. Now you can see at the bottom here, it says edit with AI. So once I've selected something, no, I could select multiple. So there's one. And I could say, so I want to pick this 47-second of me. Now these two things probably don't even relate, but I'm just picking them anyway. So I click edit with AI. I need to mute that. It gives you these templates, which are for very particular types of genres. So like the daily vlog, that's like a thing. There's a makeup style one. This one's a fashion one. I don't think there's a lot of choices at the moment. Maybe nostalgia. There's a tutorial one, which is very random. I'm gonna go for nostalgia maybe. So I'm gonna pick that, and I'm gonna go next. And what it's going to do is going to look at all the clips that I selected. Like I could select like a bunch of clips. They all have to be pretty short anyway. But it's going through and looking for stuff out of those videos that they can like put together as like a base plate for editing. Now here on the Shorts app, that's going to mean that all I can do after that is just do some trims and stuff, and then add some like stickers and titles and music and maybe a voiceover and stuff. Whereas if it was in the Create app, you could do all the things in the Create app, like any editing app on your phone. This will take a little while to load. So while we're doing that, I'm going to jump into the chat while that's loading. More live features for mobile. How to fix the at in the chat? Absolutely. I had a video that a brand paid to promote after paying the organic views did not die, just returned to the exact same path. Yeah, so the organic part was just informing itself and would just keep tracking along, mind its own business. The paid part's just inflating the overall figures, but yeah, you can see that there's distinctly paid traffic and organic traffic. Okay, so now it's basically given me. It's added the music over top as well from the template. So I could go change sound and pick something else. I can turn that off. I don't know what that's put in for me now. I don't know what that is. Live streaming of creator tech reviews. I don't know what that is. For privacy. What is this? Oh, it's. I really don't know what it's given me. It looks like it's picked. It looks like it's picked some images off my camera roll that I didn't tag. That's really weird. Now what I can do, yeah, I said that I can change sound. I don't know if there's any way to turn the sound off. So I'm going to leave the sound in there for now. Go next. But from this point, it's just being able to do any of the things that you can do in the Shorts tools when you're like creating or uploading a video. Now, some of this stuff that it's showing me, I really don't know what's going on. But it's going to keep playing in there. Like I'm not going to go any further than that. But what it's done is it's taken parts from this video. But this is a video that I've already edited, so it's taken parts of an edited video and put it with the parts of me talking to camera and this part that's after it. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what this is. It's actually from something different. That's I was recording that. That's from another tutorial I did on Prism Live Studio for a short. So there were two shorts. It's mashed them together. Not really, I should be giving it something better to work with than two already uploaded shorts. So we're going to get out of that. We're going to come back to where we're up to. When I get copyright strike, thank you to YouTube for doing that to me. Okay, I'm just backing out of all that. Actually, one thing that's interesting is I can see when I get back to the first screen in the Shorts tool, I can see a lot of cuts and edits. So it's cut it up a fair bit, just on the timeline. But I'm just going to cancel that. I don't want any of that. Yeah, okay, I'm out. So yeah, interesting. Let me finish off in the chat here before we move on. That's true. They do have motivation for encouraging paid, unfortunately. Lee says, sorry for not chatting. Working on the train layout. No, that's all good. It's all good. Larry has a question. I thought it was also on the iOS version on the main YouTube app in the Shorts editor. Yeah, correct. That's the one I demoed because I don't have my Android's out of action, so I can't even use the YouTube Create app at the moment. But here on my iPhone, all I've got is the main YouTube app, so that's what I showed on that one. And that's the same question. Same question twice. So yeah, so what I demoed was that exact thing, the iOS version of the main YouTube app. So in the main YouTube app, it's on any device. It's the fact that the Create app isn't available on iOS yet. If it was available on iOS, then the feature's probably going to be there. So I'm assuming people in Canada who have the Create app might be able to do it now. That'd be my guess. I could be wrong. All right, we're going off the Creator Insider topics for this weekend. Something that was going around was there was a lot of channels getting falsely terminated for weird things. There was one channel called, I think it was called Enderman or something like that, and somehow in the back end of YouTube, it got linked to a unrelated channel that got terminated and banned for, I think it had a bunch of copyright strikes or something like that. And then they thought that this channel was owned by the same person or related or linked somehow and terminated it. And apparently, my understanding from some notifications I saw in studio is that they became aware that for some reason they were terminating channels that shouldn't have been terminated, that were linked to channels they shouldn't have been linked to. So it was like it was a mistake in YouTube's end in this case, and so they were going in and unterminating and restoring these channels. But in the meantime, it's causing a lot of grief. A lot of anxiety for the owners of these channels some of them have been around for like 10 plus years. Here it says a massive creators were wrongfully banned this week, and so they're using this as a teaching moment at vidIQ. Learn how to protect your channel. YouTube's AI falsely connected users' channels to a user completely unassociated with them, and that's a YouTube problem. YouTube has since reinstated these channels, but only after they use their online followings to get enough attention to the matter. Twitter is the usual place for that, but it can happen elsewhere. Getting in Team YouTube's face, basically. If you're a creator, back up your data through Google Takeout today. It might be the only proof you have that your channel ever existed. So yeah, you can get a backup of your channel. I don't know what that exactly entails, but they've got some instructions here using a tool that Google puts out called Google Takeout. It's at takeout.google.com. You click deselect all and then select YouTube at the bottom. Hit next step, choose export once, choose the zip file option, and file size 2 to 50 gigabytes. Then click export. When the email arrives, download the archive to a secure drive. So it sounds like what it actually does is actually downloads all your videos. So if you don't have a backup of your videos already, this might be something that is prudent to do on your channel to sort of get you up to speed with any videos that you may have uploaded but not have a copy of anywhere else. Which certainly could be the case if you've ever done any like live streams from your phone or different things, so that doesn't like save locally, or if you've just live streamed generally and don't save it locally, you don't have a local record, or you don't have a saved recording in the cloud if you're using a service like StreamYard or something like that, then getting a backup of these is probably vitally important just for your records, and in case something silly like this ever happens to you, or worse, you actually get terminated because you actually did something and then it's gone. As it's gone, you can't do anything. You got nothing to reference. You got nothing to jump on, which is a little bit sad. If that's you know what, I missed a whole bunch of questions. I had my chat scrolled and I thought it was at the bottom. So yeah, so let's put more of a PSA there from vidIQ this week. Wrong button. Yeah, here's a Twitch one. Anybody use Twitch? But to be honest, this is to address like the whole YouTube moderators and YouTube moderation tools that YouTube has. Twitch has just gone ahead and launched a moderation analytics dashboard. So it's like a whole dashboard for just looking at the moderations that have happened on your streams on Twitch, change logs, words about blocked words, which we have that on YouTube. Other activity and like a record of the activities that your moderators have taken. Now that is a limited thing that you can do on YouTube, but not to this degree. And what I said to this tweet this week, I tweeted this to Team YouTube or at YouTube, I can't remember which one, and I said, hey, when are we going to get tools to the par of a platform like Twitch for live stream moderation? That'd be lovely, thank you. So look, Twitch is doing it better. It's one of the rare things that Twitch is doing better than YouTube. There are some moderation things in YouTube that are great. It's come some ways, but there's a lot more that it could do in terms of moderation. And so I really keen on them beefing up their moderation tools a bit. So I just thought to put that out there. Mini soapbox on that one. Now, this is a report that I haven't substantiated, but according to Matt Navarra, who does a lot of social media reporting, saying that YouTube's rolling out another round of AI age verification to more users. YouTube expanded this AI age verification system again, quietly flagging more accounts overnight. Flagged users are blocked from age-restricted videos, served only non-personalized ads. To bypass restrictions, users must verify age using ID, selfie scan, or credit card. Features like public uploads and monetization are disabled, prompting backlash across Reddit. Now, I haven't been able to substantiate any of this. I haven't seen too much talk on this week, particularly on Reddit. And there's subscribe. Somebody has subscribed. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Person. So I can't substantiate that, but just beware that, YouTube's continuing to go, particularly in certain markets with age verification. There's things going in the UK. Obviously, here in Australia, we've got the bill that's coming out in about a month. Well, it's already out, but it gets enforced in a month where if you're under 16 years old, if you're 16 or under, you cannot have a YouTube account. You cannot have Facebook. There's a whole bunch of others. I think Reddit and Kick just got added, which is interesting. But apparently Twitch has an exemption, which is really odd because Twitch and Kick are basically the same thing in terms of as a streaming platform and the underlying sort of systems. Because Kick uses Amazon's base, basically. So, there's a lot going on, a lot of government pressure for all this sort of thing to take place. And unfortunately, a lot of the platforms get sort of obligated now to take all these weird actions, protecting in all under the guise of protecting children. So we'll see how that all pans out. Unfortunately, it's I think there's a lot more going to happen before we stop talking about age verification. Phil Murphy's here. Welcome. I'm going back and trying to catch up on the chat. Half these things like Edit with AI aren't available yet. Well, I had Edit AI my test in my example just now. The Create app, I'm assuming it's rolling out. If you've got an Android phone that's up to date, you might want to check to see if that's been added yet. But according to YouTube, that should be. Maybe it's just rolling out as we know to channels. Over a number of weeks. So I know because the funny thing is like today it's handles. I was on Roberto Blake's stream last night, and it was regular channel names. I think we've been flip-flopping a bit. I think last week we also had handles. Another time we had channel, and before that we had handles. and it's a bit of a potluck as to which one you're going to get. And then sometimes I'm on streams and they don't have, they're still on the regular channel names. Like last week, Nick Nimmon's stream, regular channel names. Who knows what it's going to be this week? I don't know. But yeah. Oh, that was a jump scare. Yeah, that was when the music was kicking in. I'm like, oh no. Dang's here. Dang for short. That's oh boy. Davidson's all natural gym. It's an acronym. It's an acronym. All right. Oh yeah, it was all over the shop. It was all over the shop. I was like, quickly, how do I mute that? I was looking for my mute. Had to go for my soft mute over here because it was coming through from my phone. I had no control over it whatsoever. I was trying to turn it down on my phone, but that wasn't going to help. Yeah, I should be fine. Didn't play long enough. I'm just going to try and catch up. Oh yeah, we're never 100%. I always call out vidIQ on some of the stuff they say in their videos, but all out of love, because Rob Wilson's a fan of this channel, so but I do some corrections in the comments sometimes, saying actually. But saying this, I do not use the vidIQ tool at all. I've never really used it ever. I have had it installed for a short period of time, but I don't use the tool. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I think this is a queue. Over the hype for videos. Who's going to get rolled out to what? Yeah. It's a bit like that. It's a bit. Just with some of these features as they roll out, it's like potluck as to if you get it quickly. Sometimes you'll have it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's coming. Sometimes you're in the wrong country. How awesome would decent mod tools be? Yeah, Discord gets an exemption. Discord, if you're not in the right groups, Discord can be a little bit seedy. Like if you're in good groups that have good moderation, that's why they have good moderation. They have moderation tools and they have moderators. So Discord, yeah. Just send you the list of eight. Ah, okay, yes. Let's have a look at that. I'll have a look at that real quick. Yeah, I did see a list the other day and I'm seeing stuff. Here we go. Yeah, we can pull that up. That's not the screen that's on my screen right now. Oh, there we go. Toggle it again. Okay, so the social media ban in Australia that kicks in, I think it's around the 10th of December. Yeah, it says it there. They're restricting ones that have to have age restricted for under 16s. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Reddit, Snapchat, Threads, TikTok, X, aka Twitter, and YouTube. They're not restricting YouTube Kids, which should make sense. Google Classroom, which I don't know what Google Classroom is, but I'm assuming it's just some sort of like software that schools use. I don't know. WhatsApp. Are you kidding me? WhatsApp is as seedy as Messenger. Messenger's pretty neutral. That's part of Facebook, so I understand why that may or may not be in there. Discord, I think, should be on the other side. GitHub. What under 16s is using GitHub? I don't know. It's more of a repository for like code and stuff. I really don't know. Lego Play. I'm not sure what Lego Play is, but I'm assuming it's like a Roblox style sort of gaming system. Roblox itself isn't restricted, nor is Steam, which is like a game service. It's a little bit all over the shop, and and you could probably name some platforms that might be missing from either list. So yeah, interesting. Where are we? we're up to this. I'm just going to jump in. Pete Johns. Pete Johns is in the house. Party people. Unless I'm AI Pete bot bleep blop. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Especially being in the chat, you don't know. Yeah, YouTube Kids is for like younger. So it's so totally safe, so it doesn't matter. Because under 16 also means like 10, 8, 6, whom on some platforms they may have some type of account or some sort of parental guided account, depending on the platform. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Learning how to code. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that would have been a high priority list to be on. But GitHub's on the safe side anyway. So hey, I got friends channel that has the hype is rolled out to you if you're over a subscribe count. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, if you're between 500 and 500,000 subscribers, you get the choice of toggling whether you want to be participate in hype or not as a a channel that puts out videos. You're eligible to earn hypes. Obviously, the smaller the channel are, the more hypes you get once you get towards that 500,000. Like Daniel Vital, who just hit 500,000 in the last week or so. He was able to get hypes in that last little while, but now he's over 500,000. He can't get hypes anymore. So no one can hype his new videos. Remember, you can only hype new videos that are under 7 days old. And the other thing about hype is you can't give hypes if your channel that you're operating from happens to be a brand channel, which is a big, like for this channel, I cannot drop hypes on people. On one of my other viewing channels, I can go over and drop hypes on people. But of course, I get the limit of 3 a week like everybody else. And remember, so you can drop hypes if you have a non-brand channel and the video that you want to hype is under 7 days old and that their channel is between 500,000 subscribers and they have left hype on. I believe hype is on by default. You can toggle it off if you don't want your channel participating in it all. I leave mine on and people have hyped me. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's like the haves and have nots, isn't it? 16 and 14. That's like in that 16 is like, yes. And 14 is like, oh man, I gotta wait 2 years to do whatever I do on the socials. Larry has used his site very selectively. Doug Hewson, Nate Black, and Cole Michael so far. Yeah, right on. Right on. Until says it's awful. I should be talking about the 14 to 16, 14 to 16-year-old. Man. Yes. Well. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to. Fortunately, all my children are adults, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for me, but obviously it's going to matter to a lot of people. We're going to hear a lot about it. Yeah. It's like channels that were monetized and then lost it when YouTube rolled out the change to monetization policy back today. Yeah, YouTube are probably going to be very hesitant to like do whatever they do to police this, even though they've got like the verification to like restrict content so they get the right appropriate content if they're underage. But this is like saying, like the government wants to say, hey, they can't have an account. And so what happens to the ones that already have an account? Are they getting deleted or are they getting suspended until they reach 16 years old? And then how do they prove that to get their channel back? And like this is all this is an unnecessary complication that sometimes government puts on platforms like YouTube. Sometimes it's necessary and sometimes it's like overreach. It's like at this point, it's like, yes, it is. It should be parents' responsibility, but at the same time, it's not every parent is tech savvy to understand how it all works to maybe effectively police it. So there's that as well. But it's a little bit nanny state to me, as the saying goes. So Pete says, I'm baffled as how much stuff YouTube is throwing at the wall now. Too old, I guess. XP, leaderboards, hype. What's wrong with likes and dislikes? Yeah, some of the gamification sort of missing the mark for me. Like the leaderboard XP stuff was sort of interesting as something different, but I think in the long run, I know channels that have outright just turned it off, and I've done it on my channel. So you notice I don't use it in the chat here because it's like if I was doing a game show or playing a game or doing something sort of more fun or like a competition based, then that might come in handy. You can do some gamification, but and it's okay to throw some gamification in your live streams. But yeah, it's not for every stream. It's not for every type of stream. Yeah. If you're under the 500, you haven't got the 500 yet. That could be the main. Let me have a look. Can I do that? Oh no, you've got the subscribers. Yeah, I would go check your settings. But you should be able to. If you mean giving them, it means you've probably got a brand account. If it means like participating is like allowing people to hype your videos, then just check the setting in the back end of YouTube Studio. Subscribe things keep popping up. Pete Josh says banning has almost never worked. That's true. Prohibition, anyone. Smart kids will work. Yeah, that's right. They're smarter than half the adults who are trying to like police it. They are the tech savvy generation in terms of the current technology, like mobile phones and the platforms and different things like that. It's like, yeah, and this e-commissioner in Australia, I don't know how she got the job, to be honest. I don't know how she got the job. I got a bad vibe about it. That's all I'm going to say about that. I've already said too much. That's crazy. But hey, I promised a rant, didn't I? So let's move on to the title topic today. AI slop. What is AI slop? Why are some creators confused by AI and what AI slop actually is? People are misusing the term AI slop. And yes, there is a real legitimate AI slop. This week, 3 days ago, in fact, as you can see, Nick Dimon put out his video. He was like talking about AI tools that actually do some incredible things and just sort of showcasing some of those like incredible things, the good things, the helpful things, the productivity things. The interesting thing that happened in that video is some creators already made up their mind that as soon as you mention AI, then your video becomes your video is deemed you are encouraging AI slop. And that is actually not the case. If you go back and watch Nick's video, he's not encouraging AI slop at all. AI slop is a small subset of AI. AI is a very broad umbrella put over a whole bunch of different things. And a lot of people know that generative AI, where it's creating like video or images and stuff, that is the sort of the realm where you may get into that possibility of seeing AI slop produced. But an AI slop is this, in my mind. And let me know if you think there's a little bit more of a different definition. So I'm just going to explain it sort of broadly. But AI slop is like when somebody's created something with AI, but it doesn't really provide any sort of benefit or value. So therefore, it's like slop. It's like it's just made to maybe get views with no value. To maybe just to fill up space on their TikTok account, whatever, YouTube Shorts or whatever. It's the content that is low value, and I reckon the definition that YouTube talked about recently when they were rolling out the update to content that couldn't be monetized, and they were talking about low value, low effort content. I believe that's what AI slop is. What's what it really is the content that is low value. It is not lazily made. It is not done with any sort of thought of being actually entertaining or being or bringing some sort of value, educational value or whatever, in terms of the content. It is just there to you know, do some stuff. I just had some stream notifications in terms of things sort of low bitrate and stuff, but now it's back. Now it says excellent. So anyway, so that's what I believe AI slop truly is. And now it's telling me that YouTube is not getting enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Come on, Eatcam, come on. Chantel says I went a bit swirly. Okay, so yeah, that's what I believe AI slop is. But all the tools that Nick was talking about in his video that got a lot of AI slop comments when it first came out, and people, I believe, from what I could tell, is the people are actually unsubscribing because Nick made this video and put it out, and he's covered AI tools before. He's talked about them before, and those tools are there to be tools for our creativity, so we can use them to create or to use them to be something that is a productivity, like some of the tools to help us ideate, to help with titles, to help with writing descriptions or writing scripts and stuff. They're there to help us like save time and actually get to the creativity part, which would be the filming and the editing and the things that we're actually doing. We are actually being creative about. These are just tools that are just helping us, as just like a camera is a tool to help us, just like a microphone is a tool to help us, just like a Premiere Pro, a Final Cut Pro, CapCut. They're all tools to help us. We've been editing with software for 10, 15, 20 years in different forms. They're not necessarily AI, but they're a help. They're a electronic tool that helps us. And that's all AI is electronic tools to help us. It's software, it's programming, just the same as stuff in the back end of YouTube, the way that the algorithm works, this machine learning. This is all just programming. This is all just ones and zeros in a computer, whether it's me editing on a 10-year-old Adobe Premiere Pro, or whether I'm using the latest Google Veo 3 to create a video from a word prompt. Whatever I'm using, it is just a tool. The creativity is still on me to actually do something decent with it. I could, just like before the proliferation of AI, people could make slop videos with that other stuff. They could make slop videos because they're lazy. They could just like download stuff off the internet and then like mash it together and call it, call it a video, but it's pretty sloppy. That's slop. There's normal slop, there's AI slop. Slop is made by lazy creators. Slop is not made by AI. AI is just doing what it's told, just like our editing software. We're telling it to do this, that, and the other. Just like when we're, when we order something from McDonald's, whether we order over the counter, order on a display, or order on our phone, they're making what we tell them to make. It's all driven still by the human. So when people get concerned about AI, then I say, well, this is what people were saying about, certain software 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Stuff like when, filmmakers used to shoot on film and have to edit by cutting the film with a knife and then splicing it together. And then non-linear editing, where you could just load it into a computer and edit, came along. And some people were concerned about that at the time, but it's like it was a time saver for that industry, and they adopted it. The movie industry, it's all state of the art electronics now, and they're not using. They might film on traditional film, but it's getting ingested, and they're editing on Avids and DaVinci Resolve and different software. Some movies done on Final Cut, some movies are done in Premiere Pro, some of them done on like Avid systems. They're done on a whole bunch of things. But this is just technology that's making the job easier, more streamlined. The ones that are benefiting from that are the ones that learn the tools. And when they learn the tools, then they become somebody who's sought after because they know how to use the tools effectively. And so then they can become a professional editor. They can become a professional sound recorder, a sound designer, motion graphics, different things like that. But yeah, it's like these are tools, just like when we use Trello for production or Monday.com. You know, before they started calling, you know, AI is marketing. You're getting messed up by the marketing is doing your head. They're saying it's whiz bang, it's AI. We've put AI on this and AI on that. There's nothing to be concerned about because that's stuff that some of it was already in there. Believe it or not, some of it was already coming along. They just didn't call it AI at that point. We called it machine learning. We called it different things, but we didn't call it AI. And as soon as we add AI, people are hung up by the term AI. So it's like when people get hung up with the YouTube algorithm and we say replace the algorithm with the audience. The algorithm follows the audience. The algorithm takes signals from the audience. Here, AI is just a marketing term. It's just a marketing term. It does denote some type of technology, a level of intelligence, but it's not really intelligence. It's programming. This is just programmed by people. People made this, and it's just a tool. Just like somebody programmed DaVinci Resolve, just like somebody programmed Photoshop, just like somebody programmed Ecamm so I could live stream. It's code. It's ones and zeros. So if you believe anything that has the word AI in it is AI slop, then you've been misinformed and you have succumbed to the marketing, but in like the negative side of it, because obviously a lot of marketing is trying to use it as, oh, it's wonderful, but there's such a negative pushback on it that maybe they need to look for a different term than AI. So anyway, I think I've waffled. I don't know if anybody's dropped any rant ones, but let me jump into the chat real quick, because we're at that time of the day where I need to jump in the chat. I trust Nick too. That video was, I enjoyed that video. There was some stuff in there that I'm like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I'm gonna go back. I will, when I get a chance, because crazy weekend for me, I'm gonna go back and watch it again and take some notes. The first time I watch it, I didn't take notes. I just sort of watch it so I know what Nick's talking about, have a look at it, enjoy it, and then sometimes, you jump in with a notepad afterwards. AI tools are legit. Now a whole low value video is AI slop. Yes, unfortunately, it's because people are lazy. People make lazy stuff, whether it's using AI, whether it's using DaVinci Resolve, whether it's using CapCut. Some people just make slop. Slop is in the eye of the beholder. It's something that's low value that the viewers don't end up appreciating that much. They might get a quick kick out of it, but then it quickly loses any favor from the audience. It's one of the things why YouTube is actually cracking down on low value content. Generally, when I click on a video and I hear a cheap AI voice over and generate, yeah, because it's, we have in ourselves, and we're all different. We all have different tolerances for maybe certain types of AI voices. We've heard the ones that the default ones you hear on TikToks all the time and stuff, because people don't want to use their own voices, so they just, they just type and they give it words to say. But there's only so many presets that they can use for free, so you hear the same ones all over and over and over. But yeah, hey, yeah, the viewer decides. If you click away, that's a signal to say, I don't like it. If you give it a thumbs down, that's a signal to say, I don't like it. Yeah, it did go a bit swirly before. Daniel Batal is in the house. It says, I'm not allowed to talk about AI on my channel without putting my helmet and protective armor on first. Yeah, I don't actually cover any AI. I don't do like the tools like Nick does. But you know, I'll sometimes we address it on the live stream like we are now. I got my helmet. I got my internet helmet. Maybe I need a tinfoil hat. Yeah, my signal to YouTube did go a bit flaky there for a second. There's probably some limited good uses, but I don't replace your human voice with it. Yeah, yeah. Like I've experimented, because you should experiment. You should like test it, and then you know inherently you listen to it, you go, you know, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. You know, so it's, you know, testing is one thing, but if you decide to run with it and you know that it's not good, then I think sometimes you should know that you're doing your audience a bit of a disservice if it's something that's just not to par. But you know, you have some, you know, when it comes to your content, hopefully you have good intuition. Shark Scrapper's in the house. Woohoo. Here he is. Switching to New Zealand internet. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, most of the studio tools in DaVinci rely on AI. There's a lot of AI related stuff in a lot of tools we use now, but it's not like the whole tool. You know, it like editing software. It's been around before they added some of this stuff, but some of this stuff is just like quality of life. It's just sort of saves time. Like some of the tools that do like the tracking or does like the cutout, so you don't have to like manually key somebody out of a shot. You can or key the background out of the shot. You can instantly, it will detect and draw that line perfectly around that person. So you don't have to do like tracking frames and keyframes and different things like that to you know, track something across movement over time, or to cut somebody out from the background so you can replace the background with something else. These are purely time savers, and some of those have like AI components to it, because what they're doing is analyzing the footage in real time, or or they'll do a run and record that information, so then it's there for when you continue to edit, it can do the thing. So there's AI tools that inherently make the editing process better. All right, let's see if I can catch up on this chat here. Yes. And so, Daniel Batal says, I personally love AI. I think it's extremely useful in all sorts of different situations and applications. People just don't seem to focus on those things. They focus on slop. Yeah. And like, I understand if people are putting out that, then and you're turned off by it, then, you know, I'm going to argue that if that happens en masse, then the platforms are going to take those signals and that content will eventually get buried. Like, it may get views and impressions initially, but it's going to get buried over time. If people are truly clicking away, now they're truly like engaged with it, then it's going to get a little bit encouraged more. But that's because that's what they chose to watch. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do? Larry says, I'm going to use AI to clip your rants on AI. Adding fancy graphics. I think in most software, there's not a lot. A lot of it's just basic pre-made motion graphics, and they're made by somebody. So I don't know if there's any AI in some of that. That would be if you're creating a motion graphic from scratch, say using Google Veo or one of the other tools where you're giving it prompts to create this motion graphic from scratch. But it is just another way from doing it, instead of going into like After Effects or Apple Motion or something else that would do motion graphics. It's just a different tool to get the same result, and it may cut some time down, because you don't have to do it manually. It's doing it, generating in minutes rather than taking you an hour to like tweak things and get it right. Or you may just not have the skill to yet use Adobe After Effects. Like, I don't know how to use After Effects. I've got Apple Motion. I don't even know how to use it. I can do bits and pieces, but not much. But I can like come up with an idea, go to Google Gemini, and use Veo 3, and just say, hey, I want to create a sticker or a motion graphic of this thing, and it'll make it for me. And sometimes now if it meets my needs, then that's a win. Sometimes it'll miss. Sometimes I miss, but I won't use it if I miss. If it doesn't really give me what I was actually envisaging in my mind, if I can say the word, then I leave it. I'm like, no, it didn't really turn out. Maybe I didn't get my prompt right. Maybe the tool's just not quite up to snuff yet. So, but sometimes it turns out something really good, and I might use it. There's no real difference. It's a motion graphic that I would have either had to get someone to make it myself, or Gemini could make it for me. I want to get caught up. I've lost count how many times I use AI to remove background photos. Yeah, the background moving stuff in a lot of the apps, even the dedicated apps on your phone, it might do background removal from images. That's all like machine learning and some it's not even generative. I think it's all machine learning technically, because they've been doing that for years before this whole AI kick has come in. Yeah, I actually pay for a Gemini subscription. They are the ones that I've just decided, just because of a couple of things, to go with Gemini. Like I nearly could have gone with ChatGPT, could have gone paid ChatGPT, but I went with Gemini because I'm somewhat in the Google ecosystem already, and it had some integrations that would sort of just make it make sense for me. So I used Gemini, and since I started only a number of months ago, they've rolled out Nano Banana and Veo 3 and a whole bunch of stuff, and it's really good for just sort of munching on information and sort of giving me the broad strokes and understanding. Maybe I could give it a lot of reading to do, and it could break it down for me, and I'll go back and read the original documents, because that's what I do. But it's helping me to formulate, helping me to understand things a little bit more, maybe pick up things that I've forgotten about after I read it, and maybe I don't make real good notes. It picks it out and says, hey, it talks about this, and this. I go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So it actually helps me to remember things as well. So it can do all sorts of stuff. I can get it to write scripts and ideas for shorts, title ideas, even thumbnail concepts. Like, it'll give me a thumbnail concept, but I won't get it to make the thumbnail. I'll make the thumbnail. I'll say, yeah, that's an interesting thumbnail. Let's see if I can replicate that based on what it's saying. I can see why it wants to do that, and I understand it. So let's see if I can do like Nick's real fake split screen thing, or can I do whatever. And I end up making most of my thumbnails in Canva based on, I might have that prompt. It gives me the idea, says, hey, yeah, if you're using this title, maybe use this thumbnail, and they work together. Here's the title, here's the thumbnail concept. It could give me, if I wanted to, I could say, hey, can you mock me up what it sort of would look like? But I usually can tell based on the information it gives me that I can like throw that together myself in Canva. And I'll tweak it. Like, I do multiple thumbnails per video. The first one's probably not the one I'm going to use. Sometimes it is. I refine it, and I usually have at least a couple that I can maybe test if I need to test. Andrew Can's in the house. Let's jump on this real quick because I'm running out of time. I think people think all AI is the same. I've been around since before the rebrand. Yeah, there's been MLs, there's been the large language models, got the generative. There's a whole lot of stuff, and it's all been tarred with this AI brush. And maybe people are offended by it because they've been watching movies for a long time. Terminator and the uprising of machines. Oh no, that's not what AI is. So the movies have done us a disservice, I think. YouTube opened up a creative part of me that I didn't know I had. Now I'm learning how AI can take that to the next level. My problem is I'm a slow learner. Yeah, we all got to learn at our own pace. I think sometimes, there's a lot to uptake, and not everything is relevant. You got to find what thing is going to be beneficial for you, because there's a lot of stuff out there. All right, real quick. Why am I still on this screen? Let's go back out here. We need to do this real quick. That's not the one. You can do that.
For more tech for content creation.
You can subscribe. It looks like a few people have been subscribing because that thing's been coming up. But this is what I'm talking about.
It's the last call.
Last call is the last chance to do all the things. And that includes make any more comments or ask any last minute questions. We'll make the questions brief though. Larry has just dropped 3 cuppers in via Buy Me a Coffee. Doug's YouTube updates are the real deal. Thank you, Larry. And I love that I can integrate my Buy Me a Coffees through Social Stream Ninja. That's pretty cool. I love it. The last call, y'all. The Shark Scrapper, wait. You mean Skynet won't take over? Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Maybe the aliens will come before Skynet. Yeah, big shout out to Larry, by the way. Let's oh, what have I forgotten? What have I forgotten? Oh, I was gonna first of all, let's do this. Coming up at 9 a.m. Eastern, which is in like 13 minutes, so we're going to wrap things up quickly. Nemen Live with Nick and Dee. Coming up a little later, about 1 p.m. Eastern, on the Opus Clip channel, Andrew and Roberto will be back, as they have for the last couple of weeks, doing their thing. Now, Chantel's moving her time slot. I believe it's still 7 p.m. Eastern, but it's a new time. Or is it... Actually, which end did you change? Did you change the US time or the Australian time? I'm now second guessing what I thought before, because I might have got it wrong. Anyway, let me know that if that's correct or incorrect. I just left it up from last week. So yeah, one other thing I'm going to show you real quick. Let's go to the screen share. Has anybody ever... This is something that I've been asking YouTube for a while. Like, I've put it in suggestions and feedback to YouTube a number of times. Let me drop this in. Where's my button? There it is. Screen share. Just going to drop that last call off the screen there. I've been asking YouTube for a shelf like this, and I've got a demo that I'd like to quickly mention here. This is a shelf that I vibe coded using AI to show people this is what I want. This is what I want YouTube to provide in the subscription feed. This is the subscription feed on my YouTube channel, and I vibe coded this so that I would see live and upcoming live streams. So I would know and be able to plan for the live streams that maybe I mod for, or the live streams that I might want to watch. And so here it showed me in order. The next stream that's coming up that I'm subscribed to channels I'm subscribed to, is Nick's, which is coming up in 11 minutes. And then Opus Clip one's on there for later today. Roberto's got a workshop scheduled on Wednesday, which is there, and so on and so forth. So if there's more live streams scheduled, that would fill up a little bit more. I've even programmed it to how many days to look ahead, because some people program theirs way in advance. Some people do this a few days before or a week before. So I can actually set this between 1 and 30 days. I don't think a lot of people have it. So, but the default is 7 days. So I got this set up for a week, and so it will. When I load in the subscription feed, it'll take a moment and we'll load in a little shelf to show me up and coming live streams. Now, this is what I want YouTube to have in here natively. So I don't want to have to distribute this to people, and I'm not that far down the track into learning everything to do with getting something in the Google Chrome extension store. But yeah, this is something I vibe coded. That's amazing. AI is helping me to at least be able to demonstrate something that I want YouTube to do and that I've put in feedback for before. So I thought I'd just mention that and show you that thing that I have created. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. All right, let's get back. Let's get back, and last minute in the chat. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you did, and then I got confused when I looked at my screen. I went, oh, yeah, which way did it go? yeah, so 10 a.m. here, our time. 10 a.m. here in Brisbane, Australia. Still 7 p.m. Eastern. Same bat time, same bat channel, as they say. Yeah, it's confusing. I have to be. Lee, we'll catch you later. Wrapping things up. Now, I haven't set up a redirect today. That's something I haven't done. I could have done that too, because next stream was scheduled before I went live. But yeah, I didn't set up the redirect, so let me do that right now for everybody. Redirect in 5 seconds. Boom. Save. All right. So if you stick around in the chat, we'll be passing you on to Nick's pre-show stream chat to do all the things. So I will see you over in that chat for another week of wonderful creator questions getting answered, channel reviews, and anything else that might happen on the show. Always a good time for the next 3 or so hours. Philip says, your live stream is always helpful. Yeah, we try and sort of communicate some of the news and answer some questions along the way. Talk about creative stuff. Neil's out of here. Have a good one. So everyone, thank you for joining me today. We need to wrap things up because 8 minutes to Nemen. If you stick around and chat, you will end up in Nick's live stream now that I have done the thing. So until next week, I'll be here. I'll catch you later.